Hi, and welcome to the first episode of Blog Breaking. My name is Ryan, and in this tutorial series, we'll be learning all about how to create custom WordPress themes. WordPress has grown a lot over the years. It started off as a blogging software, but now you can use it to make just about any kind of website, and that's what we're going to be learning here. In Season 1, we'll be taking this simple corporate HTML template that I have coded up here, and we're going to be converting it into a custom WordPress theme. This is going to allow us to control this entire site dynamically through the WordPress administration panel. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Although this is an intro to WordPress theming, I wouldn't consider this a beginner's tutorial. You're going to need to know XHTML and CSS and how to create XHTML templates if you really want to learn what I'm going to be presenting here. If you know a little bit of PHP or some kind of coding language, that's going to help, but it's not necessary. I'll try to break it down as bare bones as possible. And if you know a little bit about server-side permissions, that'll help too, but once again, not necessary. Some tools that you're going to need is you're going to need some kind of text editing software. I use Dreamweaver. You can use TextEdit. TextMate is another good one for the Mac. Notepad would be good for Windows if you don't have Dreamweaver. Some people don't like Dreamweaver. I like it. It's all personal preference, but you're going to need some kind of plain text editor. Microsoft Word will not work. And you're also going to need a local server. So for Macs, you're going to use MAMP. And for Windows users, you're going to use XAMPP. So you can get MAMP at www.mamp.info and XAMPP at apachefriends.org. So if you're on a Mac, download MAMP. If you're on a XP machine, download XAMPP, and see you back here in a few minutes. So now we got MAMP installed. We're going to do some quick housekeeping before I really get started. So click on the Preferences button here. And in ports, you want to click Set to Default Apache and MySQL ports. Start Stop. You might want to uncheck this if you don't want to buy MAMP Pro. I bought it just to support because I think they did a good job. You can uncheck this if you want, but I just leave it there. Doesn't hurt anything. PHP. I have mine set to PHP 5 and Apache. This is what you wanna create your own folder where you're gonna house all your sites. So I have mine set on my root directory in a htdocs folder that I created. So create your htdocs folder. You can put it anywhere, but just put it somewhere where you always remember where it is and it's easy to find. So put mine in the home, select that, press OK. It's gonna ask you, it's gonna restart the server, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so now that we got MAMP taken care of, let's go download the latest version of WordPress from wordpress.org. The latest version right now is 2.7.1. Whatever the latest version is when you watch this video, download it. Mine's going to my desktop. Once that's done, extract it. And we're going to open up this folder and we're going to look for a file called wp-config-sample. So let's see this file right here, and we're going to open it up. Yes, I do. So anytime you create any kind of database driven website, dynamic website, you always have a config file that tells your website where all your content is stored. So this is WordPress's config file that's going to point to the database. So we have here some things that we need to fill out. So we have the database name, database user, password, and host. We're going to need to find these things and input the correct thing. So what we need to do now is actually we need to create our database. So let's go to our MAMP start page, click on phpMyAdmin. This is MySQL administrator, and we're going to create a new database. Let's just call it WordPress. You can call it whatever you want. Just remember the name. So I'm going to create one called WordPress. And now that we have that one created, we're going to go here and take a look at this. So define DB name. So our database name is WordPress. We just created that. So you can see that. WordPress. our database username. For our local install for MAMP, it's going to be root. So type root. So we should do this first. Type root. For our DB password for our local install for MAMP, it's also going to be root. I'm not sure what it is for XAMPP. You could probably find out. The host is always going to be localhost for any local install. So if you did a MAMP install, if you're copying this, it's going to be localhost root, and your database name is WordPress. This over here is your security keys. And what you want to do is you want to just type something, some kind of phrase here. This is what they used to hash your passwords and stuff, so it's secure. You put something custom, whatever you want to type there. For our local install, it's not really necessary, but if you're going to do a live site, you probably want to take care of this too. So that's it for our WordPress config. So right now it's wp-config-sample. We're going to save this file as wp-config. Okay. And that takes care of that. So now what we can do is we have our htdocs folder here, and we have our WordPress folder here. We're going to drag our WordPress folder into htdocs. And you can actually get rid of this config-sample now because you don't need it anymore, because you have your config file. So now we should be able to go to localhost/WordPress, and it should bring up something because our localhost is running. So it redirected us to the install script. So now we need to title our blog. The fake company that I created a template for is called ABC Consulting. So let's just type that. And you're gonna type your email address. So let's just type this one. Whatever your email address is, don't type my email address. And if you're launching a live site, you want to have this box checked. But since we're not live, don't need it. You're gonna click install WordPress. So this is my admin username and password. You're gonna have your own. Copy this and save it somewhere. So admin, and then this log in, and there you go. Type admin, paste the password in, and that is your admin dashboard. So congratulations, you just set up your first WordPress blog on your localhost. Join us next episode where we'll start to get into breaking down this template and start turning into a theme. See you next time.